Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti and today we're going to be learning how to do the Tunisian basket weave stitch. As you guys can see, I quite fell in love with the stitch. It's very simple to do and it creates this thick fabric and it's very stretchy vertically but not very much horizontally. I fell in love with it. I've made a bunch of these patches because I am planning a new project which I will be talking about in the future. Not today. But anyway, without further ado, I just want to jump into this tutorial. So to begin, what you're going to want to do is chain in increments of 5 and then add an additional 2 at the end. And then you're going to want to cast on and do your initial return pass. So I have my 22 stitches chained here. I'm just going to go about casting on these chains and then I am going to do my first returning pass and I will meet you guys back when I have completed that. Alright, now that I have done my returning pass, what we are going to do is create a Tunisian knit stitch in the next 5 stitches. So if you don't know how to do that, each Tunisian stitch has 2 vertical bars, one in the front and one in the back. And so what you do is you insert your hook between those 2 bars and you let your hook come out the back. You yarn over, you pull up a loop between those 2 vertical bars and you have made a Tunisian knit stitch. So we're going to do that 4 more times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, now what we're going to do is Tunisian purl stitch along the next 5 stitches. So you're going to bring your yarn to the front. You're going to insert your hook as though you were going to do a Tunisian simple stitch. And you might need to hold that yarn down so that you can yarn over and pull a loop through that stitch. And that gives us this little purl effect. I'm going to do it again. There's 3, there's 4, then doing that 5th one, just like that. Alright, now in the next 5 stitches we are going to go back to creating Tunisian knit stitches. So just kind of identify that next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through those 2 vertical bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one. Alright, and to finish this row off, in the next 5 stitches we are going to do Tunisian purl stitches. Alright, and in that last stitch of our row, we're just going to do a Tunisian simple stitch in that last stitch, going under both of those bars right there on that side stitch so we have a nice straight edge, and we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Alright, and this is our row 2 cast on. Now if you'll notice in my swatches, let me find one that will show up. In my swatches you don't really have much curling in this pattern, save for that little lip that you get at the bottom row, and if that bothers you that much you can block it. So now what I'm going to do is a returning pass. So doing that chain 1 at the end, then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 until the end. Alright, So now that I've done my returning pass, what I'm going to do is exactly what I did on the previous row. And in order to make this first section of blocks in our pattern, we are going to end up repeating row 1 4 more times for a total of 5 rows. So we are going to now start Tunisian knit stitching in those knit stitches from the previous row. So insert your hook between those 2 vertical bars, go out the back, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Alright, now that we've done that, in the next 5 stitches we're going to purl. For that 5th one. So with this stitch pattern, in the beginning you're really going to want to keep that stitch count because it's easy to get off track, at least in my opinion. But once you've built up a few rows, everything becomes more evident and you can see where you are in your pattern. So now we're going to move on to our 5 knit stitches. 5. And then our last 5 purls. Alright, and then we're going to go into that last stitch on the end under both of those loops, and again we are going to yarn over and just do a simple stitch just so we have that nice straight edge. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this row 3 more times so that I have my first section of squares, and I will meet you guys back when I have done so. Alright guys, so now that I have completed my little first block, now we're going to switch it up. So where we started this last section with knit stitches, this time we are going to start off purling. So that will give us our offset look that we get in this pattern. Let me turn it on the right side. For this first block of 5 squares, I did on this green one, we knit for 5 rows, vertically, then purl, then knit, then purl. So this time we're going to purl, then knit, then purl, then knit. So we're just going to go about doing that. So you're going to bring your yarn to the front, and then you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, going to purl for 5 stitches. Oops. Alright, now I'm going to go about knitting on top of those purl stitches from the previous row. So just insert my hook between those 2 vertical bars and go ahead and knit. Alright, we're just going to keep knitting on top of those purl stitches. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, now that we've done that, we can go back to purling. So we're going to bring the yarn forward and go ahead and purl over the next 5 stitches. Alright, and in these last 5 stitches I'm going to be knitting. Alright, and then that last stitch we're just going to finish off the row like normal. Alright, and that is the first row of our new repeat. Now I'm going to do my returning pass, and then I'm going to repeat this row again for 4 more rows until I have another set of boxes. Alright guys, so what I did is I worked up my 5 rows, and this is what my pattern is starting to look like. So as you continue to work up the length of your project, you will continue to have these 5-row blocks that alternate patterns. It is super textured, it is super pretty, and when I first worked with this stitch I really kind of wanted to make a scarf, but as I kept going I'm like, you know what, I have a whole nother idea in plan. So like I said, I look forward to showing off that idea later in the year as I continue to work on that project. And as you continue to work on your project, you will get something again that looks like this guy. So I hope today's tutorial was helpful for you guys. If so, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment down below. Let me know how I did or what kinds of content you would like to see in the future. I am all ears. Don't forget to check me out on my other social media. I am on pretty much everything except for Snapchat, so I have a little something out there for everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on awesome weekly content like this. I post Tunisian crochet tutorials every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CST. And until next time, happy making!